And now from the desk of the superintendent's office, it's time for Super News. Welcome to this special edition of Super News, where we will meet a dynamic dozen of outstanding educators who truly represent all that is good in our public schools. It's time for our Teachers of the Year, the Super News Special, coming your way now.
One thing I think my peers definitely see in me is my insane amount of enthusiasm. They often make fun of me and call me like the Disney princess of the school because every day I find I have to come in with that bright, sunshiny attitude, and try to pull my kids out of their kind of dark places sometimes. And if I can do it, they think they can do it too.
Vulnerability. I have to be vulnerable enough for my kids to understand that I'm human. I make mistakes, and I admit to my mistakes. I let them see it. And by doing that, my students are willing to take chances with me that maybe they wouldn't take with another teacher. And I think from being consistent with that, it transfers to all my co-workers' classes too. I think, or I hope, those kids are willing to take chances in their classes as well.
Steadiness, confidence, discipline, definitely being available whenever my coworkers need me, whenever my students need me. I try to make myself available. I'm trying to be a sounding board, be that therapeutic ear for people, and just try to be a good friend overall.
I come in every day, I do my job, I build my relationships with my kids. I think, it took me a minute, but this is my year. I feel like I finally feel comfortable enough to show what I know, share the wealth.
I would probably say that it would be the dedication that I put in working with my students to make sure that they grow to become successful learners.
I am dedicated. I form relationships with my students. I'm involved in several committees, even committees that are not just with the children, but with also getting my faculty together as a family.
I think that they see consistency and general care for the students and wanting to make the school a more positive culture.
I hope I can inspire my students to have very good critical thinking skills, to be good, productive citizens in society, and to further their growth as a little historian in the making.
I hope that my students feel confident and ready for fourth grade, and I hope that their reading abilities have grown so much that they grow a ton of confidence in themselves and they're just ready.
Not just be able to do the simple things like read and write and understand Romeo and Juliet. I want them to, because they're right at that precipice of being in one area where it could go not so great, and one area where they could go really great. And I just want to push them toward the good side more and more. And that's honestly probably why I became a teacher, because I want them to be the best that they can be.
I hope they're ready for third grade. That's number one key, is I hope they're ready for third grade. I hope I have every one of them in my class reading.
I'm hoping that they can apply the things that they learned, whether they wanted to learn them or not. I hope they've internalized some of those things, not just academics, but how to be a good person and the best student that they can be.
So a lot of the time in class, what we'll do is we'll have a lot of hands-on discussions with their peers, because a lot of the time the students tend to learn better from each other than they do from me. So I try to get them talking and discussing the topics at hand. And one new thing that I've started implementing this year are our Canvas slides, which the kids love all of the extra bells and whistles that come with it. The drum rolls, the curtain calls, all that kind of stuff.
It's just a matter of incorporating movement into the classroom, so when they get to actually just get up during a question and move to a corner. I have letters set up across the corners of the classroom, and when they get to just get up and move, they're excited just to be able to get out of their seat.
Figurative language. We've done a lot with idioms, similes, metaphors. They even had an assignment where they had to make an idiom and bring it to school. We've done scavenger hunts with the idioms. when we first started off, that was very foreign to them. They didn't know, but we talked about song lyrics, like Miley Cyrus, I came in like a wrecking ball. That is figurative language. We talked about movies, Forrest Gump, boy, life is like a box of chocolates. And so now that we're halfway through the non-weeks, they are pointing out all the different pieces of figurative language that are a part of their life that they just never realized or paid attention to before we started doing this unit.
It's difficult for a student who's in a higher level math class and it's very competitive in there and they might not feel comfortable. And so I make sure that I go out of my way to offer extra help to those kids to get their confidence level up so that they'll feel adequate in that type of class, and also just the fact that they belong there.
Did I always know that I wanted to be a teacher? I'll tell you this, absolutely not. Because I initially started out in nursing, and I was just, became a substitute teacher just for extra money to travel back and forth to the city every day. And I didn't know they put me in a particular class and it had these initials and I didn't know what the initials meant. But I love the kids.
I have wanted to be a teacher ever since I was in 4th grade with my teacher, Miss Scott, in 7th grade at Tris with Miss Collado, and Mr. Villard's class, and all of these teachers who've been great inspirations for me. I knew that I wanted to make an impact, and I knew that that was going to be the way I was going to do it.
I had a teacher at Andrew Jackson High School that showed me that I could be successful in math. Miss Lametta, she was one of my favorite math teachers, and she broke down that wall that I had that scared me. And I think that the teachers that I've had in the past have really guided me to this place.
I walked in 5th grade and I saw my 5th grade teacher, Ms. Geraldine Myers, in front of the class teaching, and I was absolutely captivated by it. You know, just the way that she presented herself, her speech pattern, her pacing, the way she moved about the room, and the way every kid in the class hung on her every word. When I saw that, I said, wow, I would like to have an impact on folks like that.
I realized that, you know, my husband at the time, he helped me to realize that maybe I was in for the wrong thing. He told me, he encouraged me, he said, you talk about these kids every day. He was like, this is all I hear. He said, you never talk about nursing and what you're doing in college. He said, I think it's maybe time for you to make a switch.
I think my best advice to a new teacher would be to start every single day as a fresh day with a wealth of love to give, because I think that if we can focus on loving each other, loving learning, loving ourselves, it makes for a much more positive outcome in the long run.
Build relationships. Your children in your class need to know, or even outside of your class, they need to know that you care about them. If they know that you care about them, then they will do anything you want them to do.
They need to bond with their students. They're going to get the most growth from their students by bonding with them. They're never going to forget it. They're going to grow in confidence. They're going to become successful because of it, and to not give up.
I would tell them to treat them how you would want them to treat your children, because I know that a lot of young teachers don't know how to lead by example maybe, and might want to get down to their level and relate to them, but I think that the idea is to set the expectation as what you would want them to be as an adult.
St. Bernard was where I wanted to teach ever since I was a senior in school. I knew I wanted to come back in the parish because I knew the community here was so welcoming, so open, and supported you in any type of way. The community here is very strong and it's very loved, and the support is unfounded.
I'm tired of the charter school system. I want to get back to something more traditional. And like I said, it was like a movie, you know, just happened to be out and about and meeting someone who teaches down here, and we got in a conversation. loved what she had to say, introduced me to the principal, came in, did the interview, and it was great. So I'm here, and I tell people all the time, I should have been out here 20 years ago.
I feel like there's such a big community here that I've lived on the North Shore. I didn't experience that there. In St. Bernard, you do, and that's why I wanted to stay here, and I want to stay here until I guess I retire or until I die. Because I just enjoy being here and I enjoy the community.
I would definitely tell any person interested in getting into education for the first time that St. Bernard Parish would be a great place to start because of the level of support.
A lot of support. We get a lot. I've never had a time that I've needed help with something that I haven't gotten it. And I feel like I'm respected as an educator. I'm taken seriously. I'm affirmed when I'm doing things really well, but I'm helped when I'm not. I don't feel beaten down.
St. Bernard Parish is just a one-of-a-kind parish. I feel that our teachers are supported. Each school loves their administration. So I'm pretty sure from the people I speak with, they feel like their school is a family. I see when we come together in the beginning of the school year, everyone is happy to see each other. It's not like we school against school. It's St. Bernard Parish.
St. Bernard is a great place to work, to live, to be. We have the best of everything. Our school system has the best of everything. We have the best support. It's just a great place to teach.
Congratulations to these amazing teachers, and kudos to our 3 parish-wide winners for this year. We thank you for sharing your time and talents with our school community. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Super News, where we always let the Super News roll.